candle closed above. The next candle did a retest and it continued moving up. And now when you look at the time, it's very important to look at the time too. Look at the time. It's 12 p.m. This is 1 p.m. here. Volume is starting to die, right? So as we come into dead market hours, this is dead market hour till here. See, price is just consolidating. There's no movement. There's no movement, no trade. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people haven't noticed that this is USD CHF. USD CHF. So when you're looking at these times, USD is closed and CHF is closed. That's why you have a lot of consolidation, because there's no volume. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one here. All right, so what's happening over here? We have some sort of resistance forming, right? Seems like price broke out of it. This is a 15-minute chart. So let's see how the next candle closes. Oh, next candle closed bearish. Can we take an entry here? Can we take a sell here, or we should wait for a candle to come back in the range and then try to take a sell? Wait, oh, okay, wait. Ah. See, we waited. That was a retest. Exactly. Now this candle has no wick. See what's happening now? It's forming resistance. Now it's forming resistance. Now it's trying to come down. So can this be a good entry, or should we wait until price comes below this area here? I think, yeah, I hate waiting for confirmations too, but I think a good trade would be when price comes down here, and then you can potentially ride this move down. Because if price comes down here, it might do a retest and then continue down. Right, so let's see here. See, we had a move down, price broke down. It came back in the range. It's time to come up. See, notice this now. Now, price came down. This candle broke this support right over here, right? And then price came down, it created support, like it created a low. And now it's trying to make some sort of a resistance here to continue moving down, right? So this is where you start asking yourself, okay, is this the point where I should be entering? Where should my stop loss be, right? So now when it does a retest, you can have a nice stop loss, and then you can let the position run down to support. It did a retest over here. So now maybe you look at this candle and you say that, okay, this candle has no wick to the bottom. So, okay, not a problem. It has no wick to the bottom. You wait for the next candle, right? Because, hey, there's a high chance that after this wickless candle, the next candle could turn bullish. So you're like, okay, I'm just going to wait. So you wait for this candle. This candle formed bearish. So now you know, okay, price broke up, came back down under this resistance, made a low, tried to do a retest, did a retest. So now it should be heading down. When you're looking left, you see this clean move. So now you can say, okay, maybe it's going to come down and mirror this move and continue down to support. So it's all about waiting for candles to close. Sometimes you will miss the move, but that's perfect. That's totally okay. Because when you miss the move, you should be taking a note of how you missed the move, because if that's going to happen the next time, then you're going to jump in it because you've seen it happen before. But price action before wicks, right? Momentum is also a part. Yes, exactly. What if after the first large bullish candle that broke out, then the small red candle closed bullish above resistance? Would you take in the buy? Closed above resistance. Okay, hold on. So you're talking about this candle. If this closed bullish, yes, I would take a buy, but then I wouldn't know where it's going to go because I can't see too far left. Yeah, you know, because I can't see too far left. If I wait a little bit longer, because check this out, right? Because check this out. So this move up happened. Look at the time, 3:30, London time, right? London Open, and then you have around 4 a.m. This is still an hour after London Open. So you had big moves happen, right? Big moves happen. So when you're looking at these moves, you see big candles. In my mind, I'm saying, okay, I've missed these big moves. Okay, awesome, no problem. I've missed these big moves, so now market has to consolidate a little bit. It has to like kind of take a breather because it's moved a lot. So now it needs to take a breather. It needs to kind of slow down. So this is why it starts to consolidate. So while it's consolidating, and you have your zones drawn, you automatically know that okay, you know what, this was your support. No, resistance. Price from support went up, and now you're waiting to see what price does when it approaches the support, right? This is a very, very good idea that now you are waiting to see what candles do as it comes towards support, right? So it breaks right through it. It breaks, and then you're waiting for price to do a retest. It does a retest. You look at the time, it's around 7 a.m. Eastern, right? It's pre-New York, so this is when the volume starts to come in the market. And then with momentum and volume in the market, you know that, okay, you will get the move that you were looking for. Possible that there's a higher time frame resistance. Yeah, let's take a look here. Let's see if there's a 1 hour chart. Okay, we got the 30-minute chart here. Perfect. Yeah, so now on the 30-minute chart, you have some more information. This was your resistance. This candle broke up. The next candle, the 30-minute, see how it's important to look at the 30-minute and not the 15-minute, because 30-minute you see clean moves, you see clean candles, you don't see any bullshit. It's just straight to the point. Because look, 30-minute candle closed with no wick, and okay, closed with no wick, I don't fuck with these candles. And looking left, now you see that we have some resistance here, right? So now you waited, candle came down, closed below resistance here to the left, and then a 30-minute candle did a retest, right? So now when this 30-minute candle formed bearish, did a retest, so now okay, we formed resistance on the 30-minute. The 30-minute candle finished bearish. So now if it's heading down, how far will it go down? So you start to look left. You say, okay, well, there was a nice clean move here going up earlier. So now momentum is bearish. We close below resistance. Maybe if we have a stop above the 30-minute candle, we can maybe cash the move down towards support. And when the price comes to support, you take profits, you let 1 or 2 run, because hey, if support breaks, that's bonus pips, right? Because 70% of the time, fake out should go the opposite way, right? But hey, it didn't. Oh well, you still got your pips. And then when you move towards, this is 12 p.m. now, price starts to consolidate because, momentum is down. Makes sense. So it's really important to try to tell stories on what the candles are doing. All right, I think this is the last example for fake outs. Okay. So we have a break, we have support here, and we have some sort of a resistance right over here. Okay, because this resistance is based on, so this is the 1 hour time frame. Candles reversed over here, so this is resistance. Price from support here, so this is now a good area here. So let's see how price works around here. Okay, we have a breakout. Candle closed back in, right? So this was the breakout candle, right? And then you needed this candle here to confirm a breakout by closing above this area. But what happened? It closed back inside the range. So now theoretically, it should continue moving down. Come up for a retest and then continue moving down. Now, there's a fake out at the bottom too. Yes, good point. Good point, Shamrez. This was a fake out too. Because if this was support right here, you had this candle close back in the range. And see, the only time price starts to consolidate is this time here. 1 p.m., 12 to 1 p.m., consolidation time. There's no trade in this area. Yeah, exactly. A lot of goat shit here. But look where the volume is. Look where the action is. 6 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Eastern, New York Open. Here, 2, 4 a.m. London Open. Lots of volume. When you get into dead zone, there's no volume, no trades, no fun. Make sense? Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little break. We're going to take a little break, and then we're going to talk about some gladiator candles. We're going to talk about chart traffic, and then we're going to talk about EMAs, and then we'll have that trading plan. You are right, Raja. After the fake out, I want to the opposite side and broke support to the downside. Yeah, exactly. But there's still a probability that it might or might not happen, right? That's why there's always it's always a good idea to just take what you can. How long is the break? The break is going to be 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. Guest speakers, I had 2 people, but they didn't really come through. So I guess it's just me and you guys. Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a break here. What do you think of M's and W's? I don't know. I don't look at M's and W's at all. I only look at how candles are moving, how candles are forming. What about success stories? Will we have some? I'm not sure. I asked people to come on. They said some said yes, and they haven't showed up. So what can you do? Yeah. So by the end of it, if some people do come on, that's awesome. We'll have them here. But if not, we still hear some success stories on Twitch too. Hey Raj, estimate what time this session will end. We're gonna take a 5-minute break here, and I think we got 1 more hour left after this. Yeah, we have 1 more hour left after this. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna take a break here. It's 2:07. Oh yeah, perfect. JR Bliss. Yeah, we're gonna have you on then. Back at 2:15. So 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Okay, we're gonna go on mute. This has been a long session. Holy. All right. So yeah, so we're gonna be back here pretty soon. Hello, everybody. We are back. Just gonna make sure it's still being recorded. All right, still being recorded. Awesome. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? We're gonna do this. All right. Let's keep going here. There's no time to waste. Next, we have chart traffic. Okay. Chart traffic is like, now you got to look at charts as like highways, right? Sometimes, like, you know, when you're looking left or when you're looking at the charts, you see like the candles are congested, right? There's a lot of consolidation happening. That's when there's a lot of traffic there in the charts, and it's really hard to trade because like, you know, the candles aren't going anywhere. But then sometimes the chart is as clear as the autobahn. So autobahn is like that's the fastest highway in, I think, Germany. So that's when I say, like, when you look left and there are clean candles to the left. I think we've talked about a lot of those in previous examples too. So when there are when there's clean candles to the left, you know that, okay, there's probably a cleaner move in that direction as well. So looking left can basically give you a very good idea how far the candles can actually move, right? So let's go on with some examples here. Okay. So we have something like this happening, right? So what's the number one thing that you're going to do with it? So this is a 30-minute time frame. What we want to do is we want to see that if there's any support being created, which is right over here, right? So now there are two things that can happen, right? Now we have support being created right over here, and we have a resistance being created right over here. So now the number one thing is that once we break out here and you look left, you see this clean move down, there's a very, very high chance that the price can continue to go up. Or if it breaks below support, you know that there's a very, very high chance that price can continue to go down. Make sense? But now we got to find out that, okay, where can we take an entry knowing that price is going to continue to go up? So let's wait for the next candle here. There we go. We see a bullish candle. So what does this mean? This means that, okay, maybe we have found support, right? And now we can continue to go up. Make sense? Let's do that again. So when you're trying to tell stories that, okay, we have support, you have this bearish candle forming wherever it is, right? And then you have this bullish candle. So now this is confirming that, okay, maybe this is an area which is important as support. But then you have this next candle which came all the way down, and then it closed somewhere like over here. So now you know that, okay, this support area is very, very strong. And then you have the bullish close right over here. Right? So as we talked about, you have a bullish close, 30-minute, but if you zoom in, you'll see that this candle closed higher than these two candles. So now basically you can say, okay, as long as price stays above the low of the 30-minute candle, it should continue moving up. Let's do this. So, you know, it started to move up. So now if you entered, you would know that, okay, maybe you could have stops at break even, or you could let one position run or whatnot. Because now when you look left, you approach this resistance area. This candle is also approaching this clean area over here. So now if some of you guys, you use, what's they called, trailing stops, what I try to do is when the 30-minute candles are moving where I want them to move, and as long as they're still closing bullish, or let's say as long as they're closing bearish in the direction I want them to move, I keep reducing my stop loss. Like, let's say if I had my stop loss down over here, I'm gonna bring it up and bring it up below this 30-minute candle, right? That way, I'm not only securing profits, but I'm also anticipating that, okay, as long as the 30-minute candle is closing bullish, it should continue to move up, right? And now, now we have this candle with no wick, so we're not sure where it's going to go, but hey, it went bullish. Okay, Rakil, this is where chart traffic confuses me sometimes. Look at that giant bearish erection red candle in the middle. Why did it go down smoothly when looking left? There is no traffic. Hold on. Okay. Look at that giant bearish erection candle in the middle. Which one? This one? Why did it go down smoothly looking left when there's no traffic? That could have been some news. Could have been some impulsive news. Because if it's heading down, because you see this? Yeah, this could have been news. Because look, this is around like 7 a.m. and this is Euro JPY. So maybe Euro JPY has some news at 7 a.m. because usually that's the time when Euro JPY has some news. Because if you look at this candle, it wicked above the previous 30-minute candle, and as it started to go down, this was the support where it should have come to, but it blasted right through the support. So when you're looking left now, you see, okay, where's the next area it should come down to? So you see this consolidation box here, and then you see price came up here, tapped it, and then started to move back up. Yeah, exactly. So some people here are mentioning that this was a fake out. That's exactly right. But essentially, what we're focusing on is this area right over here. That you had a move to the downside, price started to go up, and then it started to consolidate. Right, started to consolidate. And then we recognize that, okay, now bullish candles have been forming, so this might be a move back up, because there was no confirmation that price is going to start to continue moving down now, because the way the 30-minute candles started to form bullish. I would generally keep it a few pips below the wick, because you're right, that does happen, that candle wicks below it. So just to not happen that, I generally keep it below a few wicks, because even if you look at it from a pip perspective, let's look at this here. Okay, let's look at this. So this is 125,400. So if it's just below the 30-minute candle, this is going to be what? This is not even 10 pips. This is way less than 10 pips, 7 pips. So as long as it's even like 10 pips, 125,300. Not only that, it's fulfilling your stop loss criteria, but it's also below the 30-minute candle, right? So when guys say, hey, I had a tight stop loss, 6 pip stop loss, and it was below the candle, I still got stopped out, I would say, hey man, your stop loss was way too tight. Make sense? Because in my mind, in my trading plan, I know my stop is always going to be 10 pips in my mind. It's always going to be 10 pips. And then it has to be at a logical position. Because if it starts to go up, and let's say you catch this candle, this comes to like 550, you got 15 pips. Yeah, man. 5 pips. Yeah, 5 pips is too tight. 5 pips is too tight. I don't know what can you get out of 5 pips. 5 pip stop loss is too tight. If you use the 5 pip stop, man, you're inviting the price to stop you out. That's how I feel about 5 pip stops. Like you're telling the price, hey man, look, here's my stop, come take it. No, and price is going to take your stop. If a stop loss is 10 pips, what's your TP? My TP is going to be like, if I'm trading Euro JPY, it's basically like you're measuring how far it can go, right? Because